Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the 2026 World Cup bronze match between France and England. We're previewing a matchup that is absolutely steeped in drama, history, and, let's be honest, a whole lot of heartbreak. We've got two footballing giants colliding under the bright lights of Miami's Hard Rock Stadium. So let's get right into it. People so often call this the match no one wants to play. It's usually brushed off as just a consolation prize, right? But the stakes and the underlying storylines here are actually incredibly high for both nations. This is definitely not just some friendly exhibition to close out the tournament. We are talking about jobs on the line, historic scoring records waiting to be shattered, and this desperate search for redemption after two uniquely devastating semifinal defeats. Just imagine the sheer willpower required to get back on the pitch after having your championship dreams totally crushed just days prior. It's immense.
So let's set the stage with Act 1, the shared heartbreak.
To truly understand the intensity of this bronze medal clash, we have to look at the psychological state of both squads right now. France is reeling from what you can only call a total offensive paralysis. Their incredibly potent attack was just completely smothered by a defensively masterful Spain. They lost 2-0 and generated a shocking 0.3 expected goals, literally their worst offensive output in 60 years. Meanwhile, England suffered a crushing defensive collapse. They were actually leading Lionel Messi's Argentina until the 85th minute. Think about that. They were 5 minutes away from the World Cup final, only to concede a late equalizer and then suffer an absolute dagger of an injury time goal. Total offensive paralysis on one side and a devastating late collapse on the other.
That brings us to Act 2, Mbappe's Golden Boot chase.
Sometimes, massive team failure can suddenly shift the focus entirely to individual glory. Amidst France's downward tournament trend, winning in 2018, losing the final in 2022, and now crashing out in the 2026 semifinals, there is a huge individual motivation driving their superstar captain. The magic number right now is 8. That is the exact number of goals both Kylian Mbappe and Lionel Messi have scored so far. They are locked in a fiercely competitive battle for the Golden Boot. And keep in mind, Messi has to face that exact same Spanish defense that just completely neutralized Mbappe, which opens up a massive opportunity for the French forward to pull ahead.
So, they are dead even on goals. But the first tiebreaker for the Golden Boot is assists. And right now, Messi leads by just 1, 4 to Mbappe's 3. What does this mean strategically? Well, it means a very hungry Kylian Mbappe is going to look at this potentially rotated, emotionally drained English side as this absolute prime opportunity to either score or assist and reclaim that top spot from his longtime rival. He is absolutely not going to treat this like a meaningless friendly. No way.
But honestly, it's not just about Mbappe's individual hardware. Beyond the Golden Boot, the heavily criticized French front line, featuring Mbappe, Ousmane Dembélé, and Michael Olise, is absolutely desperate to erase the memory of that abysmal 0.3 expected goals performance. The French press has been ruthless this week. These are proud elite athletes who want to prove that being completely shut down by Spain was just a fluke, a total anomaly, and definitely not a true reflection of their attacking quality. All right, let's flip the script and look at Act 3, England's fight for history.
If France is out there looking for attacking redemption, England is fighting for historical validation and honestly the very future of their managerial project. Talk about the hot seat. Following intense criticism over his defensive substitutions against Argentina, moves that a lot of people believe invited pressure and basically handed Messi a route back into the game, manager Thomas Tuchel is heavily under fire. However, sources are indicating that a third-place finish could be the exact lifeline he needs. Securing bronze might actually validate his tenure just enough to keep him in the job until Euro 2028. This single match carries immense weight for the structural future of the whole English national team.
And just think about the sheer amount of recent heartbreak for this squad. A World Cup semifinal exit in 2018, a heartbreaking Euros final loss in 2020, knocked out in the World Cup quarterfinals, by France no less, in 2022, another Euros final loss in 2024, and now yet another World Cup semifinal exit in 2026. It's a brutal, recurring block. This squad desperately needs a tangible victory. They are consistently knocking on the door of greatness, but falling just short. A win here finally breaks that cycle of ending tournaments in tears.
And here's a crazy stat to put things into historical perspective. Aside from their legendary 1966 World Cup victory on home soil, England has never, ever finished above 4th place in a World Cup. Never. So sure, it's not the shiny gold trophy they wanted, but securing a bronze medal would objectively be an undeniable achievement. It would literally mark their best finish on the global stage in exactly 60 years. That is a legacy worth fighting for, even through the heartbreak. Let's break down the tactical hard facts in Act 4, tactics, lineups, and broadcast details.
So with all these intense motivations set, the Golden Boot, managerial survival, and England wanting some revenge for that 2022 elimination, how are these teams actually going to line up? Well, Didier Deschamps is expected to do something pretty unusual for a third-place game. He's going all out. He wants to keep his lethal first-choice front line entirely intact to explicitly support Mbappe's chase for the Golden Boot. We fully expect to see Olise, Dembélé, Mbappe, and Désiré Doué. But they will be forced into a change at the back. They're missing their key defender, William Saliba, who unfortunately went off injured against Spain, so Maxence Lacroix is expected to step in.
On the flip side, Thomas Tuchel has a completely different puzzle to solve. He really has to lift a downcast squad, so he might rotate in some much-needed fresh legs. Actually, this means we could see heavy-minute stars like Declan Rice and Bukayo Saka left on the bench. Instead, players like Elliot Anderson in midfield and Noni Madueke in an attack could join staples like Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane. It's a massive gamble by Tuchel, trusting the fresh legs of squad players against a highly motivated French attack.
Okay, so when and where is this whole shebang going down? The match is at Miami's Hard Rock Stadium, overseen by referee Jesus Valenzuela. Whether you're watching primetime in the UK at 10 p.m. on Saturday or, waking up early with your coffee in Australia on Sunday at 7 a.m., this is a fixture you absolutely do not want to miss.
So, we have all the pieces on the board. Will we remember this as the day Mbappe cemented his legacy with another Golden Boot, or the day England finally secured their best finish in 6 decades? The psychological battle here is just as crucial as the tactical one. Ultimately, one nation will use this match to rewrite their future, while the other will be left to wallow in a historic collapse. The real question is, who cracks first?